I'm gonna try working on the just death, a unit's death. Just a couple of things to take into consideration. I may just add in a little flag here or an event on death. That might be enough because we send the sender, which is HP, and we can get the parent unit from HP, I think. Unless it's protected, private. Oh, we can do that one. Parent unit. Okay, let's see where we would do this then. So decrease sets the value, increase sets the value, and set sets the value. This here. So okay, it's this here. This decides what happens. Let's make this more of a function, or make it look more like a function. And then we can do a little check after we set the value and say if current less than or equals 0, then we will trigger the death event using this and empty event args because we're not passing anything through. This is very simplistic at the moment. It might not work for every case. There may be an on death, well, there may be some sort of death status effect like Doom that maybe the Doom status effect can just set your health to 0 after so many turns or whatever, so that way this would still work because when we set the current health and it hits 0, then we will trigger that event. So what else do we need? Probably the battle unit as opposed to the unit. Um, okay, let's see. So the next step would be to catch that event and then probably add something to the queue because different effects can trigger upon death. So that's why I'm thinking the battle unit should catch it because HP can trigger to say, oh, I think we should die right now. But then the battle unit is the thing we know exists in combat. So if the battle unit says subscribe to the on death event, check if the parent unit is the same as my unit, and then add something to the action queue. Add the sort of on death to the action queue, and then we can perform some more actions there. So let's do that. Let's make this start. And we will do HP dot on death, and remember to unsubscribe, and then on death we will have another action, something like unit died action. That one's not got much on it. Let's duplicate that. Uh, Unit died action. That's fine. You know, yeah, I guess it's fine to kind of double. It feels like I'm doubling up on the on death event, but this one is purely to let the battle unit know you should be doing something right now. Then the battle unit will create the action, and it's up to this action. This will be the one that other events will call on. So other events like auto raise, if you want to have that effect, that would probably be in here saying someone's just died, but I want to also have another action that says bring them back to life. You would probably want to catch this event rather than the HP event. So yeah, this seems like it's working so far. On death event args, we'll pass in the unit that died, um, dead unit. We don't really have anything else. I don't know, maybe at some point it might be useful to have a record of how they died, because that may be some effect that you want to catch as well. Say, if they died by fire, make them come back to life. If they died by acid, well, just or a troll maybe, like a D&D style troll where they only actually die if they get hurt by fire or acid or something like that. I think it used to be acid, but then they changed it to fire and acid. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Feels like it was just acid before. So we'll get rid of this one. And this will be dead unit. I'm trying to keep these names sort of specific as usual. Try and be very obvious about what is what. Now there is the argument that if there's only ever one unit mentioned in this whole piece of code, it might be easy enough to just call it unit. But as I guess these videos have shown, a lot of code can be rewritten or changed, and just it's kind of helpful if you do need to add something to this suddenly, you don't need to then go rename everything. You've already got a well-named variable. Alright, so what would be uh, just spawn a message saying that they died. Yield return null, and then ping out the on death message, and dead unit equals dead unit, and that's all we've got for now. So we probably want to do something with this unit though. You know what? We'll make it battle unit, because it's the battle unit is what we want to be affecting here. I'm thinking probably you could place some animation here to make the character shrink and do all kinds of whatever. I'm just gonna I'm gonna take out the visual and replace it with a different visual, and that will be the marker that someone has died. And it will also take up that spot as well. And in a sort of, if you're making a professional game, or just, I guess even indie games look nice. You could have actual downed graphics for the characters being on the ground and stuff. But yeah, for this, it's going to be just simple enough to have like a little diamond or something to show that someone died there. And the reason that I would have something on the map is so if you want to use a revive spell, you can use it on the target with the little diamond thing. Um, if you want to just make them disappear entirely, that's fine. Um, and then if you can have a revive spell that just comes up with a window with all the dead actors or the dead battle units, and you can just click on it. Who knows? I'm just spitballing. These are the different thoughts that pop into my head. Just get the unit display name, dead battle unit, and we're gonna change this to battle unit. No, undo that straight away and just type it in. Okay. Okay, so how are we gonna set visual? Okay, this could be fairly easy then if that creates it. Destroy visual. So we're just gonna catch this in a variable somewhere. We're going to call it visual object, and we're just going to, oh, hold on, I've actually done, okay. Okay, there we go, and destroy visual object, and then set it to null. So yeah, we can fairly easily just call destroy visual and then set visual for something else. Nope. So in the died action, we're gonna call dead battle unit dot destroy visual, and dead battle unit set visual, and we're going to pass in some kind of prefab. So I imagine it's going to be something like that. Dead battle unit prefab. So let's go to config. And let's just add another value here. Public game object dead battle unit prefab. It's been a while since we've used Blender in this project. Okay, lovely. So let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Let's make this a cube, small cube. Dun, dun, dun. Duplicate it. Make one of them see-through. Okay, so here's this is one sort of square tile position in our game. And then here's an object. You know what, maybe just rotate. Something like that, and then have it sort of just spinning round. Yeah, yeah, let's not spend too much time on it. That's fine. Dead battle unit prefab. Okay, is it in here? Lovely. So let's create an object, dead battle unit prefab, reset the transform, add this as a child of it. And yeah, don't want to spend too much time, but let's do a little visual script here. Rotating cube. Um, just make a float, rotate, speed. So how do we do this? Transform, rotate. Maybe this isn't the best way to do it. Hmm, and then you pass in some kind of lerp or slurp maybe. Or you just put in a small amount. Maybe that's all we do. We just put in a small number. Maybe that'll do it. Just keep this really small, or I guess that's rotation speed per second now. If it's multiplying by the frames. But we'll just see how it goes. So we put the rotating cube on the visual itself, which again, this is maybe bad. We should have another um, another object, and then we'll put that in there. It means we keep the code off of the visual, and it means if we want to change this visual, it's very easy. You just delete it from here, bring a different one in, and your object still works completely fine. You could put the rotating cube on the parent, but then your visual starts rotating and whatnot. Oh, that's what we're looking for. I'll be doing this kind of thing. Do 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 do. Prefabs. We'll just chuck it in here. Get it deleted from here. Put it into the config. So now when a unit dies, we'll create an action for it. It will destroy the old visual. We'll create a new visual, and then we'll tell other things that it has died. But then I guess we will need a revive, which will reverse this sort of thing. I was going to test it there, but we don't actually create the action. Battle unit. Yeah, I usually like to keep the code out of these things, but this is quite small and specific. I don't think we'll be reusing it anywhere. Um, dead, dead, dead unit action. Unit died action. Oh, first, we need to check if the HP equals sender as HP. If HP equals null, we return early because it's broken. HP, so if HP dot parent unit does not equal to unit, would return because this is not the active unit we're talking about. Otherwise, we'll create the action. Unit died. It's very unlikely this will be. This isn't gonna proc from. Oh, what a terrible language to use. This isn't going to trigger based on itself. I don't think there's going to be any action where death itself will just happen. It's always going to be because of something else. So let's see. Why does this trigger? HP on death. On death. This needs to know a level. This needs to know what level to create at. Is there a way of just saying grab the current level of the action queue and then add one? Because we could go into a different action and say when we deal damage, we should check their health now, and then if their health is 0, we'll set them to dead and do all that. But then it's not really keeping with the whole point of an action queue to do something and then stop. Do something, then stop. This should decrease the health and then stop. And it's up to the health to then say, oh, I've been reduced to 0, so now I need to add something to the action queue. Let's see, action queue system. Yeah, I guess that we are grabbing the level. What am I talking about? We do have public access to the level. So it might be okay to say set level equal to the action queue system level plus 1. Because whatever happened to kill this thing would have been triggered at action queue system dot level. So we just want to add this to the next point in the stack, essentially. There'll be no callback because this should never be the initial trigger. So action queue system, add unit died action. And I think that's it. So this just adds something to the queue and then finishes. And the queue itself will just continue running. Let's see. Let's just see. So he can do what he wants. He missed anyway. Let's see. We can. No, everyone's missing today. Okay, well there we go. That character died immediately. What happened because of that? Let's see. Lorik hit Wolf, damaged Amy for 18. Damaged Susie for 18. Susie died. Oh, I forgot to actually add um, a speed for the death cube. Um, where's the cube? There we go. So hopefully if I just change it here, it will start doing something. It's going really slow, so we'll go 50. I think for the effect I want, it should be rotating on 2 axis. Um, let's see if I can just look at it and make it do it. So this is going to be 80. So if this is going, but not that one. Ah, okay. So because I've got this pivot point, get rid of that and then see what happens. That still wants to go from the bottom. So maybe I do want to add this directly to the cube. It does make it a bit harder to just remove something and add it back in, but it's just an effect. It can be, it's easy enough. So this will be swiveling round. What happens if you just swivel on all axes? Again, this is absolutely inconsequential. It doesn't matter. This is just a random effect, but it would be cool to see it working. Let's just slap it on all of them just to see what happens. I don't know what this is going to look like. But anyway, that was cool. It seems like that part of it works. If someone dies, um, then we will see. Hmm, you know what it is? It's the speed. I'm sure it's the speed. X speed, Y speed, and Z speed. Let's just see what we can do. How this effect can look. Again, this does not matter, but it matters to me. Damn it! Now kill him! Kill him! Yes, kill them. So we just changed it, so there's no speed on anything. So let's see what happens if we keep the Y speed at 80. Let's make this 40, and we'll make this 20. I want it to be very visibly like changing directions and stuff. See, it looks like it's always just traveling in this direction, which is not what I want. Why is making it do that? No, it's just going that way. Hmm. Well, who cares? I will just update the prefab and then move on. So now it still does that. Okay, well, screw it. We're just gonna go for well, like say 75 on the Y, and that's it. That's all we're doing. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, we'll give it some yellow shine. We'll make it metallic and we'll make it smooth. Back prefab, and then we'll drop it on. Lovely. So that's something dying, but not really, right? Because let's see what happens. Wolf moves. Susie is about to die again. Boom. So Susie's dead, but what happens when it gets to Susie's turn? She's still building. Still building. And it's Susie's turn, and she can move around as this funky cube thing for some reason. So we need to stop the turn counter building up when she's dead. So I'm gonna create a script. What am I looking for here? Status effects, and we'll make a new status effect. Yeah, we've got them in here. So let's make status effect dead. I've got no any crosses or anything that we can just use, so I don't need to go and get one. Okay, that can be it. That can be dead. Hey, okay, we didn't actually make a status effect, so let's see. Here we go, status effect. Let's duplicate the blind one because it's got hardly anything in it. So dead status effect on apply. Move. Okay, back in here, we can go to the dead status effect, add it in. Just make that. So let's see, blind status effect adds a feature. So we're going to need to have some kind of feature that just stops a build-up. So was there multiply stat feature? Did we already create that? Modifier. So we have add value modifier, add percentage. So yeah, probably something like that, but multiply the whole thing. It won't just be the initial value plus that. So let's create another one of these modifiers. Multiply modifier, multiplier, and then we're just going to modify the initial value. We're just going to multiply it by multiplier. So you can see probably clearly the whole point of this is I'm going to pass in 0, and the sort order is going to be at the very end. So it doesn't matter what you try and add to the value, it's just always going to multiply by 0 at the end, which means it's not going to improve at all. It's not going to increase. I think I've maybe not done this in the best way. My thought being, if this is for the turn counter, then how am I gonna get this? Because normally I do it in get. Yeah, maybe that's fine. If I do it in get, then it means anytime we try and get the turn counter, it will just appear to be 0. Is it also in set? Do we also change it in set? Let's see. Where's stats? Blah, 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 blah. Stats. So when you try and get, it will run the modifiers. If you try and set, it's not doing anything. So maybe I should have it. I think in the Liquidfire he does it for get and set. Like when you try and set a value, it also has a chance to be manipulated. So let's just add an on set because maybe that's what we want when we try and add to it. We try and set the value. That's when we can manipulate it. On set. On start event args. Let's just call this on start event args and we'll just reuse it. On start event args. So we create the args beforehand so we can get them after manipulating them. Unit is unit. And start modifier list is value modifier. I think that's fine. Maybe this should be modifier, but it's only a value we're worried about, so maybe this is good. So start modifier list equals, okay, we're ordering it by sort order, and then passing it to a list. Okay, and then we will grab this initial value, so equals that. For this to the start modifier list count, result equals args.start modifier list. Okay, this seems straightforward. Modify, pass in the result, and then at the end we will we set the value oh yeah, there was an update to this I saw, where if you want to manipulate the delta, the change in value, then we're going to need to gather sort of before and after results. So we want to set this value to value, which means this is the before, and then value is the after. Before value, so yeah, maybe I don't think you're going to have the same one for this. it's here. Uh, uh, hmm. Uh, um, I think I'll do set in the same way. And I just need to actually, I didn't really need to alter the set. I could have just used get. And when we try and get speed, that's when I'll multiply it by 0. Because that's how we determine the turn counter growing. And maybe also when a unit dies, maybe just set the turn counter to 0. Just so it's like a double bad thing. If you die, your turn counter goes to 0, and then it needs to build up again, even if you get revived. Um, so yeah, the before value would be this. No, you know what? We don't want to be altering it this way. No, let's not do this for set yet, unless we really need to. Now, was this it? Have I just screwed it? Let's just undo everything. Dun, dun. Okay, okay. We're getting there. Okay, that looks like it's reversed everything, which is fine. I don't need to be making changes there. So let's just add some effects to status effect dead. I think it's just feature, add stat feature, oh no, wrong feature. We don't have a feature. We need to do multiply stat feature. So stat's the same, value's the same. On get, on get. Nice. We will do the other type of modifier, multiply modifier. Should probably be multiply stat modifier, right? You know what? We don't need stat in there. It's not stat specific. So multiply modifier, multiply, multiply modifier. What's the one here? Sort order. We're gonna do 99. do it right at the end, and then we add multiply modifier. So let's see, multiply start feature. So it's going to be speed, multiply it by 0 right at the end of the calculation, so it should never build up the turn counter again. So let's just test that to see if it's working. Come on, dog, kill something. So yeah, hopefully, so she just died and this did not update, interestingly, which was something I put in one of these. There we go. Starts.set. So I'll need to check that. So if I progress, it should stay at 150. It's still going up for some reason. Oh, hold on, hold on. I'm not actually adding the status effect yet. What a numpty. Um, so how, I guess it's gonna have to be another config, and this one's gonna be status effect prefab public game object death status effect. Okay, so dead status effect is there now. Now, can we just add this to someone from here? So deb status dot add, and it does take a status effect. Nice. So instance death status effect. Although this should probably be dead since I've been naming it dead everywhere else. Don't break, don't break. Wait, yeah, okay. There we go. So now when something dies, it should reset the turn counter and add that. And let's just see the turn counter, the UI script, turn order UI, let's see. It's only updating on the start of someone's turn. Let's see. Let's start dot starts dot on. See, this is maybe on change. What was it? I guess we've not got an on change event. Because on get is when we want to build the modifier list, but we don't want that right now. We want some sort of on change event. Oh, event handler, that's what we're missing. So there will be some arguments. So on change event args, We're interested in the unit that it happened to. We're interested in the stat that changed. And I guess we would have some kind of value to say what the value is. So when we set a value, we will say on change. Remember to actually add the arguments. On change, invoke this new. So a unit is unit, stat is stat. What's the value equal value? Okay, fairly straightforward. So when the stat changes, we remember to unsubscribe. If e.unit is equal to, now we'll need to take some sort of local copy of what the unit is. So battle unit, and then we'll just grab it here. If the unit is equal to this unit, although we'll do the reverse. If it's not equal, we'll return early. We don't care. If the stat is not equal to turn counter, return because we don't care. Otherwise, we will just set the turn counter equal to the value. And I think that's maybe fine. That's maybe enough to get the UI updating again. And I think we are meant to be adding the status effect now. So I think we already have the code, I think, for adding a pop-up to show the status effect of which will now be death. I guess not. Let's see if something was really added. Okay, that updated to 0. We skip a turn and it's still counting up, so something's not right. Something's still not quite right. Which unit is this? Okay, well, looks like no status has been added. So Susie died. You know what? The death. Yeah, we did it wrong. This is really bad, adding the status effect like that. What this should do is create another action. Inflict status effect equals new inflict status effect. Oh, wait, this should be an action. Add status effect action. There we go. So the unit, the user. I guess there's no user. The target is going to be dead battle unit. Status effect prefab. Here we go. The prefab is going to be config instance, maybe .game object, and then the removal condition. Yeah, we don't actually have a removal condition for it. Removal condition, is there permanent? Have we already set up a permanent one? So let's copy this just so we've got something to work from. Permanent removal condition because it just stays on. There's no on effect because it just stays on. There's no, we don't have to do anything when we remove it. We don't reduce turns, so it's a nice empty bit of code there. Now, how do we add this? We have that in config, right? Yeah. Permanent removal condition prefab. So I'm guessing the way we set this up was in prefabs here. So we'll just copy it. Permanent. Get rid of that. Add the permanent one. Oh, there's an error, which means I can't add anything. So we'll just we will just have to add it on. Come on. Here. So this will be config.instance. Permanent removal condition prefab. Inflict status effect removal condition. Huh? Maybe this should just be game object. This is kind of a separate problem, but yeah. So it wants a game object for status effect, but it wants inflict status effect removal condition. What even is that? Oh, this is one of these effects. So that comes from an ability, but what if I'm adding it not from an ability? Okay, that seems like a badly set up way to do it. Add status effect. Let's see on the action. Add status effect. How do we? So we pass that through, and then we initialize the condition. So if we check an ability, well, be the action perform ability. Perform a target condition list. Let's see, when we add effects, inflict, blah blah blah, add status effect, and it passes in its own thing that it has. Alright. So is death just going to be one of those ones that I've just got everything in the config because it can happen at any time, pretty much anywhere? Um, so So it's public inflict status effect. For death, maybe some. This is kind of not good, but let's just see. Inflict. So that's the one. That's the one that adds inflict. That's the one that adds turn. Sorry. So if we just do permanent inflict status effect removal condition, got nothing here because it doesn't do anything. Permanent removal equals permanent removal. Just going to call it removal, removal, removal. And there's no such thing as set. We will apply, but it doesn't really do anything right now. So let's go to, so for death, there we go, that's what it wants. We can get rid of this game object part because we're updating that to actually hold the prefab instead of the status effect. So here we go, dead status effect is status effect dead, inflict status effect removal condition, but one of these doesn't have to be there anymore. I think it's the second one. So we do want the removal thing here, permanent. Huh. So that's not the right type. Inflict status effect removal condition. Inflict status effect removal. That should be the right one. Um, Passing in the dead battle unit prefab, and then it passes in inflict status effect removal condition for death. When we go to that, it's this type. But when we try and drag it in, it screams at me. Inflict status effect removal condition. Okay. Hmm. This is the type. So why are we having problems? Because it's not it's just a script, it's not an object, it's not an instance of the object. Maybe that's the problem. Turn removal condition, permanent removal condition. Yeah, that must be it. So this isn't anywhere either, right? But this gets attached to a skill or an ability. So I think it just uses that object that it's attached to. So I need to create another one. Inflict stat. This is really horrible. I think I'll need to change a lot of this at some point. Inflict status effect removal condition. Let's just make a blank object. Permanent inflict status effect removal condition. Can't even remember if that's the real name, but we'll go with it. So we attach it like that, drop it in here, and then we can use it, I'm sure. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Oh yeah, we're using the wrong one here. So that's where the permanent removal condition prefab comes in. So we do need to add that. So that'll be in here. Last thing, permanent blah blah blah. Now let's see if this actually adds the stats effect now or not. So they both spinning round beautifully. 0 and 0. So if we skip turn, they both grew still. Let's see, do they have status, blind? So it's not adding the death for some reason. Oh, I'm not even adding it to the queue. Come on. Set the level equal to level +1. No callback, so just add to the action queue. And just something that's bothering me a tiny little bit is that this is kind of rolling through the ground. So go 0.3. Here we go. Is it going to work this time? Ooshed. Oh, what is going on? So it added the dead battle unit pre-fa. What? So status effect. Is there no status effect attached to the status effect? Yeah. That that kind of threw me really off because I don't know why it spawned two two death tokens, and I don't know why. Um, yeah, oh, was it this thing? Oh, jeez. How did that happen? So this is the status effect, right? Yep, status effect prefab. So it's dead status effect, not the prefab. Silly mistake. Hopefully all the problems solved. Boom. Okay, so they're spinning around nicely. Status effect dead was added. Nice. Something's broken though. Um, oh yeah, because there's no user, so we can't apply this code. If user does not equal null, spit out the spec code, else. Mm, just say the status effect was added to the target. So let's just see if the turn counter still builds. So 0, and then if I skip turn, it didn't go up, and it's not going up. Yay! Oh, it still thinks of Susie as being a target. Interesting. I thought it wouldn't because that surely means she's dead. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Um, just a quick look at this, where it scores the options. AI option, no, fixed option. Let's see. I thought I was done with this. So it does say is the target position valid, and then it actually, what did it do? It used a single target attack, and it says not a valid target. So that's maybe a bit of an oversight. Does the target match the target type? Maybe a quick check of is valid target. Ability dot is, have I got, hmm, target battle unit dot is, I guess I could do is dead. Um, yeah, maybe that's good enough. If they're dead, skip over it. But I probably do want to check if they're a valid target of the ability. So where would I do that? Is it on the target? Oh, we would need to check each of the targets condition container. Public bool Is valid target. So this is just going to check an overall idea of if any of these effects should hit it. Passing a unit, target unit. And let's see, what happens if we loop through each of the target containers? Oh, length. But yeah, let's just get this in a variable first. Target condition container. And then we'll loop through that instead. Is target valid? There we go, there we go. So we'll just do if that equals, yeah, if they are a valid target. Looking for a unit. Oh, user and a target. Crap. User unit, target unit. Okay. If we find any of them, if any of them are true, then we'll return true. But if we can't find any container that is a valid target for them, then we'll return false. But we do need to pass in a user as well now. So that would probably be the parent, I guess. Yep. Alright, so if the target is dead, continue because they don't count. Or if ability dot is valid target, and the unit is going to be parent battle unit dot unit, and then target battle unit dot unit. So if they're not a valid target, continue. So hopefully that avoids some more problems with the AI. I guess one way of testing that is to just kill off all my characters and see if the game crashes, because it probably should. Let's group up and then get everyone killed. I can't quite get close enough, annoyingly. Ping. Oh, it did pop up as well. It did do a pop-up of the death icon. Nice, he's killing me. And then if I kill myself, oh, I've got a little bit more health. Boshk. Okay, there we go. It's just continually checking because it can't find anything to do, because these are marked as dead. Great. So, is this done? Is this part of the game done? And then probably the last part would be victory condition, and then maybe a little bit of cleanup. But the cleanup will be maybe difficult to do if I don't have an outside of game uh, place to kick the player back to when we're done. So maybe I'll just do victory conditions, and then that'll be it for the series until I pick it up again to do the out of combat stuff, because I'll reiterate that I do want to do that. I want to have an actual functional game, and if people do use this as a tutorial, even though it's kind of not, then at least it shows people how to get into combat and out of combat, and hopefully in a clean way. So yeah, that'll be it for this video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one for the last of the combat stuff for a while. Bye.